Welcome to the Bowtie Biotech podcast, where science meets business. If breakthrough biotech, bold innovations, and the business behind the science gets you excited, you're in the right place. Make sure to check us out on Substack, X, and LinkedIn at Bowtie Biotech for even more insights and updates. All right, we've got a lot to cover today, so let's dive right in.
Right, so today we're really diving deep into the world of biotech, and let me tell you, it's a whirlwind out there right now.
It is.
We're talking about potential, reshuffling of the global landscape.
Right.
Big layoffs, rocking some major companies, and of course,
Right.
some seriously massive deals being struck.
Yeah, it's a fascinating time to be following biotech, that's for sure.
It really
You
is.
see this interplay of forces.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
on the one hand, you got these geopolitical tensions kind of creating this uncertainty.
Right.
And on the other hand, you have this relentless,
Yeah,
pursuit of scientific breakthroughs
of course.
and this race to capitalize on them.
It's like this constant push and pull.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Yeah.
We've got a fresh stack of articles here from Biospace.
Okay. And they're giving us a front row seat
Yeah,
to all the drama unfolding in biotech right now.
yeah. And it's not just about understanding these individual events. It's like connecting the dots
Right.
to see that bigger picture that's starting to emerge.
It's all about the bigger picture, and that's what we aim to do.
Exactly.
So let's start with something that really caught my eye when I was going through these articles.
Okay.
WuXi AppTech
Mm-hmm.
and WuXi Biologics.
Right.
Now, these are two major players in the Chinese biotech scene.
Big players, yeah.
And they are thinking about selling off some of their operations in the U.S. and Europe.
This is big. And this all stems back to
Yeah.
this proposed BioSecure Act in the U.S.,
Right.
which could essentially limit
Yes.
U.S. companies from collaborating with Chinese firms that are deemed
Security risks.
Yeah, and for companies like WuXi, who have become such integral parts of this global supply chain for things like cell and gene therapies,
Exactly.
this potential legislation has them rethinking their position.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about them potentially selling off manufacturing units that specialize in this cutting-edge treatment.
Yeah. And it's a real ripple effect this could have.
It's huge.
If these sales go through.
Yeah.
It could impact U.S. companies that rely on them
Yeah.
for manufacturing,
Right.
potentially even accelerating the growth of domestic production here to fill that gap.
Interesting.
But it really highlights how interconnected the biotech world is
It really does.
and how these political decisions
Yeah.
can just reverberate throughout the entire industry.
And, it's interesting because I feel like we're seeing that more and more.
Yeah.
This idea that the next big breakthrough isn't confined by borders anymore.
It's a global pursuit.
It really is.
Absolutely.
But while we're on the topic of big companies making moves,
Okay.
let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the
Okay.
pink slip on the desk.
Oh, boy.
Layoffs.
Yeah,
Layoffs are hitting the biotech sector.
they are.
And it's not just small players. We're
Yeah.
talking Bayer, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Shattuck Labs,
Mm-hmm.
thousands of jobs potentially on the line.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to see a headline like that and
Yeah.
just think, oh, this is all doom and gloom.
Right.
But I think it's crucial to understand the reasons behind each company's decision.
Right, because it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Exactly.
So let's break down a couple of these.
Okay.
Johnson & Johnson, for instance, they're wrestling with the dreaded patent cliff.
Yes, the patent cliff.
Their blockbuster drug, Stelara,
Right.
recently lost patent protection,
Yeah,
which means cheaper generics
of course.
can now enter the market.
Yeah, and that directly impacts their bottom line.
Exactly.
When a major revenue stream like that faces that kind of competition, it can really affect their ability to fund new research, invest in new developments, or even maintain their current workforce.
It's a tough reality.
It is.
Then you have situations like Shattuck Labs,
Okay.
where their recent clinical trial for a new drug just didn't yield the results they
Right.
were hoping for.
Happens all the time in this industry, unfortunately.
It does, and when those trials don't pan out, it often means difficult decisions have to be made.
Tough decisions, yeah.
And in their case, they're shifting gears,
Okay.
focusing their resources on a different drug in their pipeline,
Makes sense.
a death receptor 3 antagonist antibody.
Right. So this is a type of immunotherapy
Right.
that targets these specific pathways involved in tumor growth.
Very specific.
Very specific. And this kind of strategic pivot,
Yeah.
focusing on what shows the most promise,
Right.
is a common thread we see.
Right.
Biotech.
Adapt or become obsolete.
Right. In a nutshell. Yeah.
But, hey, it's not all doom and gloom.
Okay, good.
While some companies are pulling back, others are bursting onto the scene with serious funding.
Okay, I like it.
Case in point, Kylera Therapeutics. Okay.
Tell me more.
They just launched with a staggering $400 million
Wow.
in funding
Okay.
to develop obesity drugs.
Interesting.
And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
These drugs
Yeah.
were originally developed in China.
Now that's interesting.
Talk about a power move.
It really is.
It just goes to show that in the world of biotech innovation,
Right.
often trumps geopolitics.
You got it.
It's about the science.
It's about the science.
It's
Exactly.
about the solutions.
Absolutely.
This isn't just spare change.
Yeah.
This is $400 million.
It's a big deal.
This is a resounding vote of confidence from investors that tells you that when it comes to addressing a massive market like obesity,
Yeah.
origins matter less than results.
That's right.
It's a global race for solutions.
It is.
And Kylera's story really highlights that.
It does.
But it also got me thinking
Okay.
about how biotech companies are getting funded these days,
Right.
especially in this climate.
Yeah.
We're seeing more of this royalty financing model popping up, aren't we?
We are seeing that a lot more. Yeah.
Can you break that down for us a little bit?
Yeah. So
What exactly is royalty financing and why is it gaining traction?
okay, so imagine you're a company with this potentially groundbreaking drug
Okay.
in development.
Yeah.
But you need more funding
Right.
to get it across the finish line.
Of course.
So instead of giving up a chunk of your company through equity
Right.
or taking on more debt,
Right.
you strike a deal
Okay.
with an investor
Interesting.
where they give you the cash you need right now.
Right.
And in return,
Yeah.
they get a slice of your future profits
Okay.
from that drug if and when it hits the market.
So it's like they're pre-selling a piece of your success.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah,
to fuel the research today.
exactly. And it's becoming so much more appealing,
Yeah.
especially for these smaller biotech companies.
Yeah.
Because it gives them this lifeline without diluting their ownership or
Right.
saddling them
Yeah.
with a ton of debt,
Especially in this climate.
especially in this climate. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating dynamic.
It is.
This dance between innovation and funding.
Absolutely.
But speaking of exciting advancements,
Okay.
let's talk about some fields that are really heating up.
Let's do it.
Gene editing
Oh.
and radiopharmaceuticals.
Yes.
The realms of cutting-edge medicine.
A realm.
Both brimming with potential.
Lots of potential there.
Prime Medicine, a company pioneering
Right.
gene editing therapies,
Yeah.
just secured a deal with Bristol Myers Squibb
I saw that.
that could reach a staggering $3.5 billion.
It's unbelievable.
It's not just a deal, that's a statement.
That's a statement.
It really highlights this growing confidence in gene editing's potential
Yeah.
to deliver
Yeah.
revolutionary treatments.
Big time.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
What Prime Medicine is doing
Right.
is incredibly complex.
It's cutting edge.
They're working on ways to make very precise edits to DNA.
It's like molecular surgery.
It's like having a molecular scalpel. Incredible precision.
Yeah, it's incredible precision. And this deal, I think, really suggests that what was once considered
Right. Yeah.
futuristic science fiction
Right.
is really edging closer
Yeah.
to becoming a reality.
It's amazing. And then on the radiopharmaceutical side,
Oh.
you've got Actus Oncology,
Mm-hmm.
just raised a hefty $175 million.
Okay.
They're developing highly targeted cancer therapies
Yeah.
using radioactive isotopes.
So we're talking about, it's like
something out of science fiction.
it sounds like it.
Using radiation
Right.
to specifically target and destroy cancer cells.
In essence, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
what's really impressive is they're making headway.
Yeah.
In a field that presents some really unique challenges.
Right, because it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Right.
You've got these specialized manufacturing processes, incredibly precise timing with the delivery.
Right. But when it works,
Right.
it has the potential to be incredibly effective.
It's like a guided missile.
It's like a guided missile against tumors.
Against tumors, exactly.
Wow.
And that potential
Yeah.
is what's capturing the attention
Right.
and wallets
frankly.
Of course. Of investors.
Yeah, even with the complexities involved.
Even with the complexities. Yeah.
It's a testament to the boldness of the biotech industry.
Absolutely.
Always pushing the boundaries.
Always pushing.
Always pushing the boundaries.
Pushing those boundaries. Yeah.
But let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay.
And talk about a giant facing its own set of challenges.
Okay, Roche, big player.
This is a prime example of how even the most established players in the industry aren't immune to market forces.
Nobody's immune.
Roche is projecting a potential $8 billion gap in sales.
$8 billion?
By 2028.
That's huge.
That's a massive hit.
That is massive, yeah.
What's behind such a significant projection?
Well, it all boils down to that patent cliff.
Oh, boy.
We were talking about earlier.
Here it is again.
Yep.
The patent cliff.
Several of Roche's biggest earners, their blockbuster drugs, mainstays in their portfolio, are losing patent protection.
So the generics are coming for them, too?
Well, generics are coming for everybody.
Wow.
And when you have drugs like Avastin, Rituxan, Herceptin, all major players in cancer treatment facing increased competition from biosimilars, it's inevitably going to impact those revenue streams.
Wow. So what's Roche's game plan to counter this?
That's the big question, right?
They're not just going to sit back and watch the profits dwindle.
No, they're not. They're much too savvy for that.
Right.
They're adopting a multi-pronged approach.
Okay.
First off, they're doubling down on their existing portfolio of newer drugs.
Okay.
They're going to try to maximize that growth potential.
Got it.
Secondly, they're investing heavily in their pipeline. Banking on these promising treatments that are in development to fill the gap.
Okay.
And then lastly, they're strategically seeking acquisitions.
There's a mix of internal innovation.
You got it.
And some savvy business maneuvers.
It's a high-stakes chess game.
It is.
And Roche is making their moves.
Wow. And this whole conversation we've been having about layoffs, deals, billion-dollar figures.
Yeah. It's easy to
forget.
Lose sight.
That behind all of this.
Of the human impacts.
Are real people.
Right.
Actual scientists.
And
researchers.
Researchers, exactly.
Who are the lifebloods of this industry?
They're the ones on the front lines.
They are.
Doing the work.
They're the ones making it happen.
Absolutely.
Which is why I found that article about salary negotiations so timely.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
It's like, even amidst all these industry shakeups.
Knowing your worth. Yeah. Is crucial. It is more important than ever in this climate.
So break it down for us.
Okay.
What's the key takeaway?
All right, so the article really emphasizes understanding this concept of your market value salary.
Your market value salary.
Which sounds kind of self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. But sometimes we need that reminder.
We do. Sometimes we need a reminder. So what does that really mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It means understanding what someone in your position with your specific experience,
your skill
set, should be earning in the current biotech
job market. And the key to that is doing your homework.
Doing your homework, exactly.
Right.
Resources like the Biospace 2024, U.S. Life Sciences salary report they mentioned can be invaluable.
They're great resources.
Because
you need to know what other people are making.
I got to know what you're worth.
In those comparable roles?
Exactly. In your geographic area, within your specific...
Your niche.
Biotech niche. That's really important.
It's about...
And that data really empowers you.
It's about advocating for yourself.
It is.
Demonstrating your value.
Absolutely.
Because, let's be real, no one is going to hand you a bigger paycheck.
No, nobody's doing that.
Just because you're a brilliant scientist, you have to be prepared.
You got to advocate for yourself.
To articulate your worth.
100%.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not just about individual gain either.
Right.
It's about ensuring that talent and expertise are appropriately recognized and compensated. Within the industry.
In the industry, right?
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground. Geopolitical tensions, layoffs, billion-dollar deals.
Big money.
Salary negotiation.
It's a lot.
It's a whirlwind. It really highlights how dynamic the biotech industry is.
It really is.
This constant push and pull between these global forces and these hyper-specialized
areas of research.
It's fascinating.
It is, and it's all happening against this backdrop of economic uncertainty, which honestly makes adaptability and strategic thinking
Oh, absolutely.
even more critical for companies and individuals alike.
For everybody.
It's not the time to rest in your laurels.
No, this is the time to be nimble.
You got to be nimble.
You got to be able to adapt.
Those who thrive in this environment are the ones who not only adapt, but anticipate what's coming next.
And speaking of adapting, did you catch the news about IGM Biosciences?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so they were...
Big shift.
Big time.
They were all in on cancer research.
They were all in on cancer.
And now they're pivoting.
To focus on autoimmune diseases.
Autoimmune diseases, that's a bold move.
It's a bold move.
It really is.
So what's behind this?
Oh, a couple things seem to be at play.
Okay.
First off, emerging data from their lead cancer drug candidate wasn't as promising as they hoped.
So a little bit of a setback there.
Yeah, a bit of a setback, and at the same time, they see a lot of potential into their T-cell engagers. Which, just to clarify for listeners, these are molecules that can bridge the gap between immune cells and tumor cells.
Interesting.
But in this case, they're looking at them for treating inflammatory conditions.
So instead of scrapping the research entirely, they're redirecting. Streamlining their focus.
Streamlining, exactly. And they even brought in a new CEO, Whit Bernard, who's got a very strong background in immunology.
So it's like they hit the reset button.
It is like hitting the reset button.
But with this laser focus.
A
new target.
New target, exactly.
It's going to be fascinating to see if their gamble pays off.
High stakes.
High stakes.
High stakes move, but we've seen it.
We see that a lot in this industry.
All the time in biotech, right?
Yeah. Taking calculated risks is...
part of the game.
Part of the game.
Absolutely.
And speaking of high stakes moves and calculated risks.
Okay, let's do it.
Metsera, the obesity drug startup, they are making some impressive strides.
They are. They just landed.
They did.
A major deal.
Major deal.
With Amneal Pharmaceuticals.
Amneal.
For manufacturing and supply of their weight loss drugs.
This is huge for them.
This is massive for them.
Because this strategic partnership is crucial for a startup.
Especially in this space?
Especially in this space. Because it gives them access to Amneal's well-established infrastructure.
Infrastructure for production, distribution. All the things they need.
The things you need to get it out there.
To get those therapies to market.
To the people.
Of the people, exactly.
And it's not just a handshake agreement.
No, this is serious.
Amneal is reportedly investing up to $200 million.
$200 million?
To build out manufacturing facilities.
Wow.
Specifically for Metsera's products.
That is a serious commitment.
That says something.
It really does.
That's a vote of confidence.
A vote of confidence, big time.
If I've ever seen one.
Right. And they even secured rights to commercialize those products. In certain emerging markets.
So they're thinking global right out of the gate.
Global ambitions.
It's incredible.
It's really something.
It is. And it makes you wonder, who else is out there?
Right. Who's next?
Right on the cusp.
On the verge.
Of a breakthrough.
What's brewing in the labs right now?
What is brewing in the labs as we speak?
That's the question that keeps us coming back for more.
It really is.
It's the question that keeps us
every day
glued to the headlines.
It's this field that demands attention.
It does.
It sparks curiosity.
Absolutely.
And ultimately, it has the power.
It really does.
To reshape the future of healthcare.
The future of healthcare.
As we know it.
100%.
Well, to everyone listening, we hope this deep dive has given you a glimpse.
A glimpse inside this world.
Into this dynamic world. The forces that are shaping its future.
Absolutely. The forces at play.
Keep asking questions.
Keep asking questions.
Stay informed.
Stay informed.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one.
Maybe it's you.
Making the next big breakthrough.
Go out there and make it happen.
Yeah.
You have been listening to the Bowtied Biotech podcast. Make sure to check us out on Substack, X, and LinkedIn at Bowtied Biotech for even more insights and updates. We appreciate your support and see you next week.